I've been gaming since I was a child, but now that I'm an adult and have adult money, gaming is even more fun. And for that very reason, that's why I built an entire desk setup dedicated to gaming. I wanted it to be the perfect gaming station for me. I wanted it to be fluid, fun, and exciting. And I wanted it to be completely separate from my workspace. I wanted it to be a place that I could go and disconnect rather than feeling like I'm sitting back down where I work all day. And it's been a process of time. I've been building onto this setup over time, but I'm gonna share with you 5 things that make my gaming and streaming desk setup just that much better. First on the list is the Razer Viper V2 Pro. For a while, I was using my MX Master 2S to game, and not only was I the subject of a lot of torment by my friends, but also I didn't realize how different it is when you have a dedicated gaming mouse built for gaming. Originally, I thought the gaming mice were just gimmicks and that they were all the same, but that couldn't have been further from the truth. And while it's true that you can do without having a gaming mouse, you could game on any mouse, it does make a difference. Once I tried my first gaming mouse, it was very clear that I wasn't going back. And the Razer Viper V2 Pro is a great mouse for this. It weighs only 58 grams, which makes it extremely lightweight, and has a 4000 hertz wireless polling rate, so it's very responsive. It also has a fantastic design. I love the white color, I love how ergonomic it is in my hand, the buttons are responsive, they're clicky, the scroll wheel feels good. It's just an overall well-built mouse. It's also extremely precise. The DPI goes up to 30K. It's fully customizable with the Razer Synapse software, so you can custom map the buttons. And it sports a whopping 80 hours of battery life when using it wirelessly. And it's got USB-C, so it's compatible with all of the chargers that I have, and you can use it over USB-C as well if you want to use it wired. Having a mouse like this really helps in situations where you're playing first-person shooters like Call of Duty or Halo. It's extremely lightweight and glides around really easily with your hand. Overall, I'm really happy with it, and you just gotta pick one up to feel the difference. The Razer Viper V2 Pro would make a great addition to any gaming desk setup. Next on my list are my Rode NTH100 headphones. There's 2 ways to approach audio in a gaming or streaming desk setup. You could use a wireless or wired headset, or you could also use a pair of headphones and a dedicated microphone. Personally, I prefer the latter since this is also a streaming desk setup and I want the maximum audio quality that I can get. And surprisingly, the Rode NTH100 headphones are a great pair of headphones for both gaming and streaming. They are extremely comfortable and have memory foam cushions in the earmuffs with cooling gel in them so that you're not gonna get sweaty ears from wearing them all the time. Another cool design that Rode implemented was the ability to connect on either the left or the right hand side, so you're not tied to just having the cable on one side, and depending on your setup, that could be very useful. Additionally, when you do plug in the connector, you can actually lock it. It's got a twisting mechanism that allows you to lock the 3.5mm jack into the headphones, so if you accidentally jerk it, it's not gonna come out. They're a great looking pair of headphones, they're very durable, great design, very sturdy, and they have a locking mechanism for the headband. So you can actually adjust it to the size that you need and then lock it and it will never move. They also recently added an optional mic upgrade that can plug into one of the 3.5mm slots on the headphones. So if you want, you could also use it as a headset, but I do not. When it comes to both gaming and streaming, the sound quality is incredible coming from the great drivers packed into these. The highs and the mids sound great all the way down to the lows. For example, when I'm playing Call of Duty, I can hear footsteps really well. The audio just comes through really great on these headphones. And they're not noise canceling or anything, so you will still be able to hear what's going on around you, but you will be fully immersed into whatever you're doing as well. If you are looking for a solid pair of wired headphones, Rode's got you covered with the NTH100s. Next on the list is the low-profile Elgato Boom Arm. If you are gonna go the route of a mic and headphones, it would be a good idea to get a boom arm for your microphone. And there are tons out there, and I have a couple myself, but by far, the Elgato low profile is my favorite. It was designed in a way that makes it so that it could slide under your monitor, you could move it off to the side. The whole concept of it being low profile is that it's kind of out of the way and doesn't get in the way of the stuff on your desk. That's a common problem with a lot of boom arms because they're overarching, they can get in the way of your monitor or of your computer, bigger or they just take up a bunch of space, this one is designed so that it doesn't take up a bunch of space and you can pretty much maneuver it around anything on your desk. There's not a ton to say about a boom arm. I mean, it does its job, but it's very sturdy. It's great build quality and it's got a great clamp too. It's not wobbly. It doesn't wobble all the time. It's a great boom arm. It serves its purpose. Another cool thing about it is it has an integrated hidden cable rail system. So when you have a microphone mounted onto it, you can actually run that cable through the boom arm and out the bottom. And this keeps it out of the way of your setup so you don't have cables all over the place contributing to your cable management. I have mine off to the side and it's really cool. I can just shove it off to the side, fold it up and save a bunch of space, or pull it out when I need to use it. Let's talk cameras. If you're building a setup that is also for streaming, chances are you're going to need a camera. And for my camera, I am using the Razer Kiyo Pro Ultra. Picking a good streaming camera is hard because there are so many different options out there and so many people have different preferences. Some people go all the way on the end of having a very expensive mirrorless camera like an A7S III, whereas other people go to something super simple like a Logitech or even a generic webcam. Personally, I'm a sucker for quality and I love the quality of mirrorless, but not at the expense of the hassle. When I went to CES earlier this year, I was able to see the Razer Kiyo Pro Ultra on display and it caught my eye. It was extremely impressive because it delivers on the quality of a mirrorless camera, but not at the expense of that hassle. It essentially takes up a fraction of the footprint that a mirrorless would, requires way less equipment, and it stays in one place at all times. You don't have to dismount it if you want to record content and then mount it again. It also has a massive Sony Starvis sensor in it and an f1.7 aperture, leading to great quality, great depth of field, and great low light performance. And pair that with the Razer Synapse software, which is not a fan favorite, and I will admit it's not my favorite piece of software, but that software does allow you to customize all of your settings like your ISO, your shutter speed, your white balance, giving you the full customization that you would get from a mirrorless camera and also allowing you to dial in the quality of that camera feed. I did an entire video on the Kiyo Pro Ultra, so if you want to check that video out, I'll put it somewhere right here. Last but not least, the Elgato StreamDeck Plus. And even though it has stream in the name, this is an accessory that I think both streamers and gamers can make full use of. This is definitely one of the most underrated pieces of tech or accessories in my gaming setup. And like I said, it is not just for streaming, although it is great for that. It is also for gaming or really anything. The StreamDeck Plus builds onto the design of the regular StreamDeck, adding touch controls and knobs. And those touch controls and knobs are assignable to different actions for anything that you could do on a regular StreamDeck, like lighting controls, temperature, all that good stuff. And this is not just a stream controller. Because it comes packed with Elgato's software, you can actually use this as an audio controller as well. So for example, on my StreamDeck Plus, I have it configured to be able to adjust the audio levels of my microphone, my headphones, mute them, switch between audio inputs and outputs. You can really do a lot with this. And when I'm streaming, I also have it integrated into my Elgato key light, so I can turn it on and off at the click of a button or change the color temperature as necessary. And of course, it has full integration into OBS, so I can switch scenes, go live, play things off the soundboard, all kinds of cool stuff that enhance my stream when I'm streaming on Twitch. But beyond that, it has a vast library of plugins to basically do anything you want, from controlling your nanoleaf lights to controlling certain things in Adobe Premiere Pro. I mean, you gotta check out the library because there are so many things that you can do with this one little device. And that's why I say it's not just for streamers, it's for gamers or really anyone with a PC setup, because there are so many things that you can assign these buttons and knobs to do. And I think having it as an audio controller is still one of the most underrated features that a lot of people don't know about. Being able to control all of your audio without having a big bulky Go XLR, rest in peace, is a great thing. So I definitely think having a StreamDeck, and specifically the StreamDeck Plus, would make a great addition to any gaming desk setup. So in the end, when it comes to a gaming desk setup or a streaming desk setup, you can get as simple or as intricate as you want. You could literally have a monitor and a console, or you could go all in like me and have 2 monitors, a PC, a console, a keyboard, a mouse, all of it. But my philosophy for this is pay for the things that you spend time on. So if you're spending a lot of time gaming, it might be worthwhile to invest in a nice gaming setup. And those 5 accessories that I just mentioned help level up this setup. One key thing to remember is that the right setup flows together and doesn't cause friction. So when in doubt, if it's gonna make it harder, leave it out. I hope this video is helpful. I'll have links to all of the things that I mentioned in the description below. And with that said, have fun gaming. I'll see you on the next video. Okay, good. All right.